Good evening, Ms. Parimala. Good evening, Mr. Amit. And good evening, Mr. Prashant. Hope everyone is doing good today. So you can use the chat box to communicate with me if you have anything. Fine. Let's wait for another 2 more minutes and then we'll start the session. Good evening, Ms. Dhanashree. Hope you're doing good. Good evening, Mr. Ashok. Welcome you to this webinar. Meanwhile, participants, you can use the chat box to text if you need to know if you have any queries or questions related to the IPS, you can ask there. Good evening, Mr. Prashant. Thank you. Fine. So if you have any suggestions, regarding this program or what topic can be, take in the upcoming session, you can post your suggestions as well so that we will take into that consideration and we will be taking that as an upcoming sessions. Fine. Good evening, Ms. Saurabh. Hope you're doing good. So during the session, I will be asking few questions to make it more interactive. So I want the participants to know response in the chat box so that we can make the session as interactive and have a good learning as well. Okay. Okay, let me start with the session. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome you all to the Daily Bloom IBS webinar. So, I am Deepika, your wellness coach. So, today's topic we are going to see is all about anxiety and IBS, and we'll be going in detail about what is anxiety and what is IBS, and also we'll be seeing the triggers. And we will be also looking into the stress management and the strategies. Fine. So these are the contents we are going to see today about IBS, and we will be looking into the understanding of anxiety, and we'll be also discussing about few things about gut-brain connection, and we will be also seeing about the mechanism of anxiety-induced IBS, and there is a cycle between anxiety and IBS. We will be looking that in detail, and also we'll be ending up with the management strategies. Fine. And before moving on to the topic, I just want to make sure, am I audible to everyone? Can I see a response? Can I? Yes, thank you so much. Yes, let me proceed. Yeah, thank you. Thank you all for your responses. Fine. So first thing we are going to look about is, we're going to see what is IBS. So this term, someone have, no new term is, IBS is a new term for someone. For someone, IBS is a familiar one. But we are going to get to know about what is IBS exactly. So IBS is nothing but it is an irritable bowel syndrome. Okay, so it is an gastrointestinal disorder where it might be triggered due to several internal and external aspects. And living with the IBS is a major thing that it will provide. No, it will create symptoms physically as well as emotionally, and we will be facing certain challenges while having IBS. And there are certain management strategies to manage your IBS symptoms as well by your lifestyle changes. So we will be seeing that in the upcoming slides. Fine. So as of now, IBS is an irritable bowel syndrome where you might know have dysfunctions in your gut, and you might end up in change in bowel sensitivity. Fine. So these are the things that IBS symptoms. Now we are going to see about the gut-brain axis. Fine. So gut-brain axis is nothing but there is a connection between your gut and your brain. Fine. So both are interlinked together, And it is a kind of a two-way communication where like your if you feel stressed or if you feel anxious about something, your gut will reacting according to it. Or if your gut is not feeling good, your brain uh sorry ma'am, this is a neutral thing that we will be now talking in English. I hope you can understand. Fine. So yeah, so it is a two-way communication thing where your gut and your stomach is both are interlinked. Okay, so whenever you feel no stressed or whenever you feel anxious, there will be signals or there will be a neurotransmitters that provides no a dysfunction or a disruption to your gut. And also the gut brain axis plays an important or and a crucial role, where if you feel like any dysfunctions in both of the thing, that it might be your gut or it might be your brain, you might end up in no hormonal imbalance, you might end up in no dysfunction in your digestion, and also there will be your immune functions will also get disrupted. So managing your gut health and your mental health plays a major role. So next one we are going to see about is anxiety and how anxiety will induce IBS. So before moving on to that, I just wanted to ask everyone a question. So what is anxiety according to you? Any idea? You can post your answers in the chat box so that we can make the session more interactive. Fear of things. Yes, that's good. Anything else from the other participants? Body responses to present. Yes, excellent. Good. So yeah, of course, as Prashant and has Mr. Amit said, it is a response to our stress. Fine. So basically, a stress response plays a major role in our bodily reactions. So we tend end up in sweating, shivering, and we have certain bodily symptoms. So it is basically a feeling of fear, right? And anxiety are different types. There are GAD, general anxiety disorder, panic disorders, and as well as social anxiety disorders. Fine. So basically, the symptoms are both physical and emotional. So if you see like physical symptoms, it might be like sweating, rapid breathing, you might end up in body tensed. You might feel like nausea or something like that. These are the symptoms for physically. Emotionally, you might end up in irritation. You might feel tensed, no, and you might feel like you're disconnected with everything. You feel difficulty in understanding the situation. You you have thinking problems. Everything. These symptoms are emotional. Fine. So I hope I'm clear so far. Is there any doubt? You can know keep that in mind, and we have a Q&A session at the end so that you can post your questions. So I will be answering to your questions, right? Fine. Let's move on to the next segment. So what ways do you experience anxiety? If any one of the participants have experienced anxiety before, can let me know that in what ways do you experience your anxiety? Anyone? Anyone wants to share their personal experience? Body becomes tight, rapid breathing. Okay, good. Okay. Any other participants wants to share? Fine, no worries. So everyone have different symptoms when you are going to, okay. Pulse rate high. Exactly. Your pulse rate will get high. Fine, that's good. That's a good observation that you're doing. So these are the symptoms when you are more anxious, right? So anxiety, the symptoms might differ from individual to individual. We might end up different symptoms. It differs from one to another. Someone will feel like the rapid breathing, someone will feel palpitation, someone feel like more muscle tense and sweating and chillness and everything. It differs from individual to individual. And also, the question that I asked is like, how do you experience anxiety? For example, I'm telling that some people, when they are going in a crowded place, they might no feel anxious. They feel like sophisticated. And some people might no, the people with the IBS, they sleeplessness. Okay, good, fine. So some people, when they have IBS, they will be more anxious that whatever food they are intaking, they will eventually end up in constipation and they have to rush to the bathroom nearby. So they will get tensed about it. So these are the situations that you might end up in getting anxiety. Fine. So this is what I was asking. The things that you told were symptoms. That's good. That's that other things are observation. I understand. Here comes the mechanism of anxiety induced IBS. So, anxiety might be induced, anxiety induced use or IBS as well. There are different types. One is altered gut motility. So, altered gut motility is nothing but where your muscle or nerves in your stomach won't function properly because of this anxiety. No, anxiety might be one of the trigger that pushed you to certain IBS. Fine. So you might end up in no dysfunctions in your muscles and nerves in your digestive tract, and it will increase your sensitivity in your stomach, and it might end up in changes in your bowel as well, and which also leads to symptoms like nausea, vomiting sensation. You might end up in difficulty in swallowing, and you might end up in reflux and abdominal pain and early fullness. Like sometimes you might not have the required proportion of food, but you feel like you are full. So that is known as early fullness. So these are the symptoms when you have altered gut motility. And the next one is increased gut sensitivity. It is nothing but where your no stomach will end up in certain sensitivity function dysfunctions. Like you will be very sensible in whatever food you are having. Your stomach will give some dysfunctions. Fine. So it might be affected due to several factors. Like it might be due to your diet, and it might be due to your stress or anxiety. Whenever you feel stressed or anxiety, your hormones will no won't cooperate much, and that will leads to gut dysfunctions. So that's why it will no it will leads to increased gut sensitivity as well. And it might be due to genetics as well. So for some people, IBS can be due to by genetics. So that is increased gut sensitivity. And the next one is stress induced inflammation. This is nothing but it is an inflammation which was caused by the stress that you're getting, or it might be due to the anxiety levels. And you might ask me how. Fine. So whenever you feel stressed, it is basically a hormone called as stress hormone called as cortisol, which will be secreted in our body whenever you face a stressful situation or an unpleasant situation. So that hormone will leads to hormonal imbalance, or else certain dysfunctions in your body. So because of that, you might end up in stress induced inflammation. Fine. I hope I'm clear so far. If you have if not, kindly let me know. So I'm moving on to the next thing. So this is known as viscous cycle of anxiety and IBS. So this indicates that everything is interlinked. So if you're a person who have anxiety, you might end up in gut dysregulation. As I already told you, if when you are in anxiety, your body will give certain responses, which is known as stress response, or it might be anxiety response, where you may end up in certain body reactions like rapid breathing, exhaustion, palpitation, nervousness, etc. So these symptoms will lead to gut dysregulations, fine, gut dysfunctions. So once you get gut dysfunctions, what it happens, it eventually end up in IBS symptoms, as you already know. Or else, on the other hand, if you have no IBS symptoms, the IBS symptoms will also lead you to anxiety, whether no, you might feel like you need to go to the restroom, you need to wash, You might wonder like when I will be getting the constipation, whether I can eat this food or not. This is my favorite food. You get anxious about eating your favorite food as well, right? So whenever you feel, whenever you have this IBS symptoms, you end up in having little bit of anxiety as well. And that anxiety will again, if you're not managing that anxiety, it will end up in gut dysregulation. Fine. So these three things are cycle. Both all the three are interlinked. So if you're not managing one thing, it again will come up and come up and come up. So we need to manage your anxiety and stress as well. And if you have IBS symptoms, we need to know do some certain management strategies that I will be telling you now. Right? Okay. So we have come into the management strategies. So before that, any doubts so far from any of the participants? You can let me know in the chat box. So yes, I've got no response, so that I think I'm clear so far. Fine, let me move on to the management strategies. So the first thing is cognitive behavioral therapy. This management strategies is completely for the stress management that I was talking about. Later on, we will be seeing about the lifestyle management. Okay. So the first thing is cognitive behavioral therapy. This is nothing but it is a therapy which will help you to reframe your thoughts from negative to positive, and that creates a no very major impact in your daily routine and lifestyle. And the next one is mindfulness based stress reduction techniques. This mindfulness will help you to be aware about each and every situations, and it will help you to calm and relax your body and mind. Fine. Next one is meditation practices. Everyone knows about meditations, right? So, doing meditations daily will help you to stay more focused and attentive, and also it will help you to relax yourself. And next one is breathing techniques. If any one of you have already attended the coaching and counseling sessions or the sessions with your wellness coaches, you might have end up in knowing the breathing techniques. So it will also help you to stay focused, and also it will reduces your stress and anxiety levels, and also it will calm your body and mind. Fine. So these are the stress management strategies we have seen so far. Now we are going to look about the lifestyle management. So here are some. So dietary modification, regular exercise, and adequate sleep. So dietary modification, some might have IBS due to no imbalanced diet or not having a proper diet. So dietary modification is very much important to reduce your IBS symptoms. So you need to be consistent in each and everything so that you can see a visible changes. Okay. And also you need to do a regular exercise. So most of the clients will currently living in a sedentary lifestyle that is very unhealthy. So we need to follow a regular exercises at least 30 to 45 minutes in a day, so that being physically active will create a lot of changes in your health. And next one is adequate sleep. An average individual should get at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep. I know everyone have different work schedules and work routines and personal stuffs, but yet you need to attain 7 to 9 of sleep minimum, so that you will feel like more productive and energetic, and your body will get enough rest, and also your body functions like your hormonal growth, or else your no hormonal imbalance, or if you have any dysfunctions in your body, it is a time. Sleeping is the time where your body will repair yourself. Fine, the body cells will get repaired, so we need to get adequate sleep as well. Right. So these are the lifestyle modifications, and also we have seen about the stress management strategies. Fine. So far, any doubts from any of the participants? Can I get a yes or no? Okay, fine. So, in no doubts, thank you so much for your response. Yeah. In Daily Bloom app, we are providing a no individualized nutrition plan and wellness plan, and as well as we are sharing certain resources like yoga videos, articles, and which will help you to reduce your IBS symptoms. And in nutrition part, our nutritionist will be focusing on your personalized diet, like according to your no diet, they will be personalizing you, and they will be listening to all your do wants and you don't wants, and they will be personalizing you a perfect diet plan that works for your IBS symptoms. And as well as they will be sharing you certain recipes in the app as well. And from the wellness part, the wellness coaches will be focusing on the relaxation and the stress management and managing your anxiety levels as well. So you can know share your emotional needs, or else if you are stressed, you can share it with them. Or if you need any mental health assistance, the wellness coaches are available to you. They will be helping you to know manage your stress. And also we'll be sharing you the yoga videos, and we do have yoga webinars, and we will be sharing certain articles for you to know and understand about the IBS. And also there is a symptom tracker or no option that end up in tracking your diet as well as your mood as well as your IBS triggers or flare up. Okay. So now we are ending into the Q&A session. So thank you everyone for your patience and joining for the session. If you have any doubts, you can let me know in the chat box right now. So I will be answering towards it. Fine. Any doubts, you can post your answers in the chat box. If you don't have any doubts, you can let me know whether the session was useful to you or not. And then we will wind up the session.
Hi, Deepika. So there's a
Yeah.
doubt from an attendee.
Okay.
The question is anxiety-related IBS pain
Mm-hmm.
happens
Mm-hmm.
in upper or lower abdomen or
Mm-hmm.
anywhere where can it occur? And there's one more question from Mr. Prashant. That is, what
What is
is
CBT?
CBT?
Okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you, Dhruvi, for explaining. Okay, fine. So yeah, I've got a question related, like anxiety related IBS pains happen in upper or lower abdomen. It can be happened in both your upper and lower abdomen, because there are certain, no, I've explained the different types. So when you have altered, gut motility, it will affect your muscles. Fine. So you have no upper abdomen also will get affected, and as well as your lower abdomen. So it is a constriction way that you might have a no severe abdominal pain, as well as you might end up in not proper functioning of your muscles as well. Fine. I hope I've cleared your answer. And next, Mr. Prashant have asked me like, what is CBT? So CBT is nothing but it is a therapy which helps you to transform your thoughts. Fine. So it will help you to change your negative thought. It will help you to reframe your negative thoughts into a positive thoughts. Fine. So once you're into the wellness coach sessions, you might end up in knowing what is CBT in detail and how it will be helping you. So as of now, it is a therapy which help you to reframe your thoughts from negative to positive. Fine. I hope I have cleared all your doubts. For people with, okay. For people with very sensitive brain gut access, will therapy alone work or psychiatric medicines also required? See, okay, fine. So in case if you're having stress, or if in case if you're having anxiety in a mild or moderate level, the therapy will work. Fine, the counseling sessions will work. But in case if you have severe anxiety levels, then you might end up in psychiatric medicines, which has been prescribed. So that during your severe anxiety, you might end up in lack of sleep as well. So for that, no, psychiatric medicines is much needed, like sleeping pills or something like that. Fine. I'm not going to much in detail, but in case if you need any assistance, you can look into a psychiatrist as well. And we are here to help you out by giving you a certain plans through stress management and anxiety management. If it is a mild or moderate, we can help you to get rid of it. Frequent usage of antacids might impact your IBS. Yes. Is there anything else? Any doubts? Uh, Mr. Rajeshwar Rao, I'm not able to understand your question. Your low B12 to okay, fine. For B12, you can take your medicines. I'm just talking about the antacids. Before stopping the medicines, I would recommend you to ask suggestions from your respective doctor, and then you can stop your medicines. Low vitamin D. Yes, if you face any vitamin deficiency also, it will affect your entire health. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you all for posting your questions. Thank you. We'll see you in the next webinar. Thank you. Have a great day.